Today on the channel, we're going to check out from Valaverse and the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Action Force Arctic Steel Brigade. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rich Hansel, and today we're going to look at a Valaverse action figure, Action Force here. We got Action Force. This is kind of your G.I. Joe action figures from a kind of a competitor, but they very, very closely resemble G.I. Joes. Now, I don't have very many of these. I did buy a Sergeant Slaughter Action Force figure, and that was pretty awesome. I mean, it is... Is it better than Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified series? Probably, to be quite honest with you. But I'm not as familiar with Action Force as I am with G.I. Joe. But that does not mean that these are not great action figures. Now, this is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, and this is still available on Big Bad Toy Store, and it is on sale. I did buy mine on sale. And I believe it's about the same price. So it's just under $20 for this figure here. So go out there if you want this thing. I'll get it unboxed, and you decide if you want to spend that $20. But I think it's worth it. I don't have it out of the box yet, but just knowing how that Sergeant Slaughter felt in hand, I'm sure this is going to feel good too. But let's take a look at this packaging. We have your Valaverse logo right up there. Action Force. Down here we get Arctic Steel Brigade 04-03 or 04-03, I guess. We have our Big Bad Toy Store exclusive logo right there. 14 years of age and over down there. And that is about it. On the front, we get this great window box here. Humongous. It looks like we'll be able to cut our trap door and pull him out that way quite easily. You do see a stand behind him there, which Action Force gives you stands, which is awesome. And on the back side, we get, again, our Valaverse logo up there, Action Force logo there. We have a cross-sell, Desert Condor, Urban Commando, Desert Steel Brigade, and the Swamp Tracer. So we're unboxing the Arctic Steel Brigade. This is the Desert Steel Brigade right there. Scan for additional Action Force products right there, the QR code. We do have cut and save action points for future promotions. Not sure if that is an actual thing. I suppose it is. G.I. Joe used to have point system there where you could cut out your points, mail them in, and they'd mail you a figure back. And then we get his file card, which is unbelievable file card. This is how Hasbro should do their classifieds right here. Instead of using 6 different languages and only having a short sentence or two, this has a lot of information right there. The very bottom here, warnings, copyrights, labels, barcodes, recycling information, website information right down there. That is about it on our packaging. So we will go ahead and get him cut out. All right, I got my knife. Cut our trap door out. I do this on all my action figures. If they have this blister in there, if it's not a resealable box, I just like to keep my box. I know a lot of people don't, but and maybe one day, you never know, I might end up throwing away all my boxes. But for now, I'm keeping them. I just love the artwork on them. And now I do, September and October, I do unbox exclusively horror figures. Oh, I forgot to go across the bottom. So I repackage all these, put them back in their box, and get out my horror figures. So every time, it just feels good, especially those horror figures. I have them all boxed up again. So come September, I'll take them all out, and it seems like almost the first time again. You know, you haven't seen them in about 9 months. You pull them babies out. It's just fun that way. I love keeping these packages. All right, we have our trap door cut, so we're going to reach in here, grab his plastic coffin, see if we can get this thing pulled out. There we go. He is out of there, and that's what you're left with. So you can still put that on your shelf, hang on a wall. That'll slide right back up in there. And I will package him back away come next fall. Set that down there. And here is the Arctic Steel Brigade in his plastic coffin. He looks great. All right, we were going to go through his accessories first. And he has 3 extra sets of hands. Now, the first hand we're going to check out is going to be a left and right cupping hand. Now, a subscriber, I said, I think these might be hollering hands when I first opened Sergeant Slaughter, because you would think that maybe he would holler stuff on there. But they are cupping hands for the barrel of his gun. It makes a lot of sense. But why doesn't Hasbro give us that on the G.I. Joe Classifieds? I mean, that is awesome to be able to, you know how much easier it is than trying to get it in a trigger finger? And that's what you have to do with Hasbro. It's just really hard to hold your gun on the Hasbros. But very good, a left and right cupping hand. Oh, popped right out of there. Next, we're going to get a left and right gripping hands here. And these are not trigger fingers. They are just going to be gripping hands for knives or whatever you, yeah, it looks like if he has a knife. I'm not even sure if he has a knife. But there is an accessory set I think I'm going to get for this guy that has a bunch of weapons. All right, next we're going to get a left and right fists. How about left and right fists? So this is our 3rd set of extra hands. Now he has 4 hands if you count the 2 trigger fingers that's on the figure. All right, our last piece of business right here is going to be his big gun. And look at that beauty. That is awesome. And right here is where you're going to be able to cup that with that cupping hand right here. How great is that? And let's see, he does have a clip, and the clip does come out. So that's something good you could hold with your gripping hand is your extra clip and make it look like he's reloading. Man, it looks awesome. Very good looking gun. I guess we might as well, while we're here, pull out this stand. So empty plastic there for the stand, but yep, it just says Action Force on it. And it does have 4 pegs, so you can put this guy virtually any position you want on that stand. So very nice, very nice. All right, that is it as far as accessories other than what's on him. So we are going to go ahead and get him cut out. I believe this guy is a bit of a re-release. I think he had a full-scale, I don't know if you'd call him deluxe figure, but in the resealable box like our Sergeant Slaughter was. And I will get him out and we'll check these 2 together. All right, we are going to grab Arctic Steel Brigade from his toe, pull him up, and Arctic Steel Brigade has been resurrected. There he is, empty coffin there. Get rid of that. And let's go through this awesome articulation. Look at the head. Look how much he can look up. He looks down good. Not much left and right as far as tilt there. It does go all the way around. His shoulders go all the way around. He has that hinge in there plus a butterfly. So look at that stretch he can get right there. Very nice. Upper arm cut, double jointed, pinless elbows, which are super tight right now. This room is kind of chilly here, my toy room. It used to be the attic of my house. Wrists, let's see. They are going to very nice articulation. These particular hands, they are removable. Again, very cold in here, and these are very tight. But these, because they're trigger fingers, are going to articulate this way so you can level your gun, which is awesome. And all the other ones are going to articulate this way. These 3 sets of extra hands do. We have an ab crunch in there probably, but I don't know for sure because he has, yes, he does. I can see the ab crunch up in there. He does have a hula hoop waist. He has drop down hips, so he can do major splits there. He has an upper thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees, so gets a lot of articulation out of his legs. Man, very much so. His leg doesn't go back much because of his hip there, but you could kind of cheat it over if you want. Front kick, he gets that way, way up there. He has an upper boot cut and ankle articulation, very nice on a rocker. It can flex his feet. So I love it. I love the articulation on these. Pretty much the same as our Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified, except these have way better neck articulation. Other than the side to side, it doesn't have the side to side. But that's okay. But these things are awesome. Now, let's look at these other accessories. Now, behind back, there is a knife, and it's a nice looking knife. Sheath on this vest right here. That is awesome. He does have a hole through the vest and into his back right there. So you could, if you buy that accessory set, it probably comes with a backpack, I'd say. He does have 2 extra clips right here on the front, and they are removable. So that's very nice. A lot of pockets and different things on this vest. They're not removable. I see a little knife here and some other things that are not removable. He's got the gray pads. So he is this, like, I don't know, what color is that? Peppermint or something, and then white and gray. But he looks awesome. He's got a little first aid kit or something here on his left hip. On his right hip, he has got a gun. A handgun. So let's try to see if we can get this in his hand. Yeah, look at that, man. He looks awesome. He is ready to go. Just looks great. I love his face here. He's got kind of this breathing apparatus on the front. Kind of looks like a fighter pilot a little bit. He does have that gold visor on there, that little green or peppermint colored square on the top of his head. Boy, oh boy, looks good. Got knee pads on, belt around his waist. The side pieces, they're not sculpted on. The vest is not sculpted on. Other than that, everything else is sculpted on. Oh, no, the belt, this lower belt right here is not sculpted on neither. Very good. I love this. This is a super, super line. I wish I knew these characters a little better, but I just don't. Now, let's try the bigger gun. So I think I'm going to put the gun in his right hand. So we're going to take his left hand off, and we'll put a left-handed cupping hand. Here we go. Then we're going to try to get this big gun in here. Oh, I just broke my gun. My gun just broke, so I am going to have to super glue that thing back together. Be careful with that. Boy, oh boy, that sucker just snapped right off of there. Again, it is cold in this room, but man, that should not have happened there, I don't think. All right, let's see. Now, our cupping hand, we're just going to be able to put right there. And how great is that? I love it. So he can hold this gun, fire it. It is, let's see, can I get it? There you go. He can't really look down the sights. I guess he kind of is a little bit. There you go. That looks pretty good right there. Broken stock, though. That does stink, but it's probably my fault because this room's so cold. But at first I thought it was on a hinge there and that thing folded in and out, but it does not. It actually broke. But I love it. I love it. Let's see how he looks with our Sergeant Slaughter Action Force that I have right here. I did unbox this on the channel last year. So pull this guy out. There's Sergeant Slaughter. Now, he is a pretty big dude right here, this guy is, because Slaughter's a big guy. Get rid of that. And one other thing I wanted to get out, since we have our Valaverse Action Force, how about we check him out with a Hasbro G.I. Joe classified figure. I do have Storm Shadow right here. Again, I unboxed him on the channel last year. So if you want to see that unboxing and review, you can look that up on my channel. Boy, oh boy, had trouble with him. Let's set him down over here. And here we go. How about that? Now, I told you these things could play together. And man, can they ever. I mean, they look like they're almost made by the same toy manufacturer. Now, you can see the left and right there, but look, no up and down on these Hasbros. So I really have to give the edge to Valaverse and Action Force as far as just total 110% honesty. Yeah, because he is just better articulated. I think better built. They feel, though, otherwise about the same. But I love them. I love these. Play together so well. And you can't go wrong with this Valaverse. I think I'm going to get into these. I'm not going to go real deep into them just because I'm just unfamiliar with them. But being a watcher of G.I. Joe as a child got me into the Hasbro G.I. Joe line. And I had all these 3 3/4 inch action figures back in the day. But that is going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all out there. But for Valaverse, for Big Bad Toy Store, for the Arctic Steel Brigade, till next time, oh yeah.